Now I'm wondering. Parents always say the same thing when teaching everybody somebody how to drive, right? They say driving is scary at first until, you get used to it, which is most of the case with anything you do. It starts so scary, and then as you do it, obviously you get used to it and you're not scared no more. For some reason, that's different for me and my sister, and some people, it is different. Sometimes the moment you get in the car, it's fun. The only issue is you think you know what you're doing and you realize you did everything wrong. You're just having fun. You just turning the wheel, pressing the gas pedal. You don't even know how anything works. Now me, when I want to get something done, I do my research. I look things up. When nobody's looking, don't tell my mom, but I'll get in the car and I won't touch any of the buttons, but I'll just, see what everything does. Now I can say I know how to work a car. Now, I don't know. Now, when it comes to like the engine and stuff like that, parts, transmission, obviously I'm gonna need some work on that. A lot of work. I don't even know where to start. Oops. But what was I gonna say? I know how to work the radio, the steering wheel, what all the buttons do. I had to look up a few buttons on here. I knew what everything else was. I'm pretty sure that is cruise control. And then the source button is the source of how you change the radio with like these buttons right here. The source button controls all four of those, just one button. FM, AM radio, CD, media, all that stuff, Bluetooth. And then of course, if you're doing the FM, AM radio, you can tune it. And then you got the volume button, you can just turn the radio off. You got the stations, and then, you got the AC. And then you got the temperature of the AC, I think. And then these are what I kind of need work on. I don't really know what they do. Well, I can't properly guess what they do. If I had to guess, let me see if I get this right, okay? Just let me know if I get anything wrong. I say this one is the air, right here, these little vents that blow out your face. I mean, come on, it's the air going to your face. And it needs to blow towards your face unless you point them downward or to the side. And I'm assuming these mean they go towards your face, but there's also vents underneath here. I'm pretty sure there are vents underneath the dashboard that turn on. If I'm not mistaken, I think I felt it before when I put my foot all the way right here. I'm pretty sure that's the reason you can put your feet all the way up there. And then this one means just blow the air downward. And then this is what I'm confused about. Does that mean, is that the windshield and feet only? Or what? I think that means the windshield. What do you want to, defrost it? And I'm pretty sure that's the back windshield. And that is to let the air circulate. What did that button mean? Circulate the air around the car. I think that's the button that takes the air from the outside and brings it in. No, or is that the one that, forget it. I'm gonna figure it out later when I start driving. I'm pretty sure I guessed all those wrong. Back to the steering wheel. Anyways, you got cruise control on and off. You got the answer the phone, hang up. You got the volume button, obviously. Now this button is how you change that, which shows on that small screen in between those speedometers right there. What do you want to show? The tire pressure, any alerts, the gas used, status of some stuff. You change all that with this. Oh, you can also access settings if you press it a few times. Of course, go back. That can be used to scroll through the radio unless you swap over to settings or something like that on the screen. If you got settings, you use this, of course, to, you know, scroll through the settings, and you push it down to choose which one you want to use. I just did that earlier. So, yeah, just want to get everything down when I start driving. I got my certificate of completion from my driver's school. I was actually supposed to go up and get my permit like April 7th, but my dad's headlight was out and I couldn't go. So it is now July, and his headlight is here. So once he gets that fixed, then we're gonna try again. See if I can get on the road. Now, I drove down that way. You can see the road. I went all the way down there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a we are here early. Was I recording that whole time? I just looked at my screen and the numbers were like grayed out. I pressed the unpause button. I had the camera pause for a little bit, but I'm gonna say it again just in case y'all couldn't hear it. So yeah, I drove all the way down that way, and then that's when the road started going curvy, like up and down like that. Those roads that sometimes feel like a roller coaster depending on how fast you go on them, or how deep steep they are. And then I made a U-turn on the dirt road, and then I came back, drove into the church grounds, and I just parked over there. So I did that. That was fun. And that's the part where I'm saying, my grandpa, when I was on that curvy road, that's when my grandpa said, you know, that's the hard part. I'm like, I don't know if I said hard. Now, of course, I was about to say, I don't really understand. I probably just don't understand it yet, because obviously I haven't drove on what I call the scary roads yet. The scary road is like down that way here a little bit. You know, the 4-lane roads. I mean, no, I would say 2-lane. You got 2 lanes going this way, and you got 2 lanes going this way. I say those roads are scary. And then, of course, you have the highways, the freeways. Now those roads are scary. So you gotta, like my dad always told me, you gotta drive smart. But that don't mean you're completely safe. Just because you drive smart doesn't mean the big amount of people driving around you are also gonna drive smart. As you can tell, when you're driving, you just see a Dodge Charger or something just speed past you. And then, you know, you got to move out the way. And that's what I'm worried about, because if I'm a smart driver and then somebody else ain't driving smart, then I don't know what to do. Now, me, I'm with people, I'm going to be honest, I am what people will call, a lot of people think I am, you know, slow. Now, that is not the case. What I do is, when I'm in public or somebody's talking to me or somebody tells me to do something, I just start thinking quick and just moving, you know, quick. A little too fast, I don't pay attention, and then I end up doing something wrong. I just move quick. I'm almost like panicking. I'm just moving quick, not thinking. I'm nervous, and I don't know why it happens. I don't know if it's social anxiety, which I don't know where that came from. I used to be the most, well, I've always been an introvert. What am I talking about? I make one friend, and then all of a sudden, the most talkative person you'll ever meet. But I'm still an introvert up to this day. I guarantee next year I'm going to quiet. I don't hang out with a lot of kids from my school because I don't like the way they act. You know, those ghetto wannabe gangster type kids. Those kids get on my nerves, and they expect everybody to be just like them. Just walking around with them dreads and tight jeans, talking like you're uneducated. I don't do that stuff. The worst thing about my speech is stuttering and mixing up my words. Once again, I don't know. I guess it has something to do with my brain moving quick or whatever. But anyways, yeah. I guess you would call that quick in the head or something. I don't know. It is something. I'm just so quick to react to something and move that I don't really think. I just do it to make things worse. And I hear everybody telling me, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. And I get nervous, like, oh, man. And it's like embarrassed, basically. It's like I'm in public making this mistake as this big old 6'3", 4", 17-year-old looking stupid because I put a Slim Jim in the bag by itself and then I put it in the cart. Just moving quick. And then I got everybody looking at me. It's like, dang. So that's a bit weird. But anyways, back on topic. So that is why I am a bit nervous to drive on those big roads. Because it's like, if I hear somebody speeding behind me, what do? I can drive smart. Do I slow down? Or, because think about it, the dude is speeding because he's trying to get past cars. What if I slow down and two other cars beside me, like, catch up beside me, like right next to me, and the speeding dude, he just comes behind me and he can't go nowhere. He's impatient. He can't go anywhere. He starts honking. Then what's gonna happen? What if I get into a wreck? What if he gets a road rage? What? Bro, see it? Look, that's what I'm talking about right there. What if he gets road rage and does something? Now that's my biggest fear, road rage. Now, when I was driving down that way, there wasn't any cars. So I got lucky. On the way back, when I was about to turn into the church, there was a white car coming down. I had my turn signal on, and I actually had time to turn. I slowed down. Now me, I don't like to take any chances. Like, the car, it was at a good distance for me to turn in, but for some reason I wanted to wait a little bit because knowing that it's my first time driving, ain't no telling how slow I was gonna pull into that thing. And what if they weren't paying attention and boom, and I got hit. And they already going fast because they turned down this street a long time ago. So they already got their speed. I'm slowing down turning to the church. So I don't know how to. That's another big fear of mine. Getting into a wreck in a car that's not mine, especially, only learning. That's gonna take my parents' trust like forever. My mom still doesn't even trust me to drive, I guarantee it. My dad, I'm pretty sure, I know he would trust me to drive. I don't know if he'll put me on a big road yet, especially in the car he has. He has a 2022 Dodge Charger. So I don't think he's gonna want to take any chances with that. My mom just doesn't want to die, basically. So she trusts my sister to drive a little bit. She taught her how to drive, but for some reason doesn't want to take me. Anyways, that's I got my dad for that, so it's all cool. Because I guarantee you right now, I'm gonna say this. Like, the moment I learn how to drive, right? I guarantee you right now, my mom gonna be one of the first people trying to get in my car and get free rides. And for honesty, I'm gonna say nope. Not because she didn't want to. Well, yeah, because it's like, how you gonna, if you don't want to be in a passenger seat when somebody's learning, why do you always want to be in that same passenger seat when they know how to drive? Now, this time's any different. I know how to work the car, but that don't mean I ain't gonna get no wreck anytime soon. Well, it might. If I drive safe, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna get into a wreck. It doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to be safe the whole trip. It just increases my chances of getting home safe. It doesn't guarantee that I make it home and, without crashing. You never know what can happen. You never know. Like I said, it matters what everybody does on the street. If everybody drives smart, at that moment you're good. But there's always that one guy that just has to speed, has to do something, and just crashes. No, I'm not gonna say any. Nah, I ain't gonna say it. I was gonna say something about texting and driving, because one of my parents just can't wait till they get home to text. I ain't gonna say who, but just know that. But we gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna say much of that. I don't like telling off my parents' business online, because that's just, I mean, don't nobody got to know that. One only business I tell about my parents is that, you know, really nothing, because that's not really relevant info. That's not something people really have to know. I mean, anyways, texting and driving. I've seen so many cases and interviews and speeches from people who are victims of wrecks caused by, distracted driving, texting and driving. Not long ago in school, we was having a speech from this woman and her husband about how they got hit by a dude who was distracted on his phone. I think it was a young dude, teenager, probably around the senior age of college. What am I gonna say? He hit their car, and then the parents apparently didn't make it. The husband survived, and then the wife, I guess her left part of her body was paralyzed. I'm pretty sure up to this day it's still a bit, paralyzed. So she lost her parents due to a distracted driver. And that's my fear. That's what I always fear. And with iPhones, you get that, with the updates and stuff, you get that message saying crash detected SOS, which that's what I was going to get to. But later. But anyways, that's my biggest fear. One, I don't know why people always got to pull that phone out and text when they drive. Like, just drive. It's not that, and I mean, unless it's a medical emergency, which can also be the reason a lot of people speed. But I mean, if it is a medical emergency, I don't know. I don't want to say go ahead and speed, because then what if you crash and you don't make it? Not even joking. Like, what if you crash on the way to the hospital and now you in the bed next to him? Like, in full honesty, then what's gonna happen? I'm not saying don't drive slow, but still try to be cautious when you drive, because that could happen. Something like that really could happen. And that's a genuine question. Like, what if that happened? Like, what do you do in that type of situation? You go to the hospital on the way to meet somebody at the hospital. Well, you're in the hospital bed because you're injured now. And now, boom. And especially if you're the last person that person in the hospital had left, and now you're next to him in the same condition, that's probably scary. That is scary. But anyways, yeah. Now me, I don't understand it. Like, if I'm in a car driving, if I'm in a 2 or 3 ton vehicle, driving around other 2 or 3 ton vehicles, knowing that one slip up could cause me to die if I even look down for a second, how do people have the courage to look down for like more than a second? I'd be texting, now I do get the with newer cars and their buttons, like I said, the answer button, that I do get. That's pretty cool, because you just press the button, answer the phone. You don't even gotta take your hands off the keyboard. Just look at the screen right here for a little bit. Don't even look all the way down at your phone. Just look at the screen if it shows it. And then if somebody want to answer, then answer it. You don't even gotta look down for it. It's all the way at the bottom. So just press the lowest button you can feel and answer. Just answer the phone. Talk. Something I learned from my driving class is playing music while you drive. Loud music can, make you less focused when you drive. And I do agree with that. Having a lot of loud sounds can take your focus away from what you're doing with driving, reading. Which is why I don't get how people listen to rock and roll music and study. And that's a bit strange. Or rap music, because how you gonna listen, how you gonna do your work, and all of a sudden the song go hard, now you wanna sing, and boom, you did the work late. I don't listen to the music when I work, because me, I like rock and roll music. Rap music, I like it, but I don't know. I just started listening to rock and roll music not long ago, and I realized it's pretty cool. So that's why I don't listen to it in class, because it's all, rock and roll music. It's loud. Not all rock and roll music is yelling, so I can't study. Anyways, it is hot in this car. The reason I'm sitting in the car is because, like I said, no one has showed up yet still. I don't even know what time it is. I've been recording for 27 minutes. About to be 28 in right now. 28 minutes in 1 second now. Nobody showed up. I don't even know what time it is. I don't have a watch. I don't even know what time it is. Normally, I thought Bible class started at 9. Sunday Bible class before the service, but I guess they moved it to 10. And yeah. Oh, look like somebody's about to pull up. Oh yeah. Somebody just pulled up. I think that's Sister Madison. Anyways, I had to get in there.